This Democrat Christian threatened Charlie Kirk using the Bible.
Hey Charlie, I have a real quick question, just a little bit of preface. I'm going to get straight to the point, but I need to start with the first question. You love the Bible, correct?
It's the Word of God.
Exactly. Okay, perfect. I'm just here not necessarily to debate, but more to understand your line of reasoning. I want to understand, why don't you also support things like free lunches for kids? The Bible over 2,000 times mentions it, helping the needy at every instance, and that if you don't help the needy, you are not doing the Word of God and He will not help you.
Of course we should help the needy. Can you show me a specific verse where it says make sure you pay a bunch of money to the government in taxes to help the needy?
I think as Christians, it should be the number one priority to find a system that works to make sure that every single person is fed. I can pull up a verse on my phone right now that says specifically in the Bible that you should feed the needy at the cost to yourself. You should help those in needy at cost to yourself. If it's a couple pennies out of my tax dollars to feed those don't have food, I think that's a Christian obligation of the government to fulfill.
But it's never biblically obligated to use the state to do that.
Okay,
the
but
church should do that.
Okay, perfect.
And that's so I personally give a fair amount of my tithes and my donations to local churches to help do these things, and I hope everybody else does that as well.
Okay.
And
So
in fact, I
this
believe
gets to the meat of my question. If I could get more to the meat of the question then. So why do you think there should be some policies that should be governed at the state level, but then not other policies when it's sort of governed like this, when it's specifically over 2,000 times in the Bible?
So we go back to the Constitution because that's our core governance. If it's in the Constitution, it should be there, such as border security, national security, printing of money, the Treasury, enforcing of interstate commerce, Department of Justice, those tariffs, collecting of duties. However, the government providing food to its citizenry is not in the Constitution, and it should be a last gap effort. And I suppose the question is, I don't know if you're a Christian or not, and if you are, wouldn't you say it's better for churches to feed people than the government to feed people?
Yeah, okay, so I am a Christian, and I do think that by any means necessary, the number one priority of every single citizen in society under Christian values, as you like to preach, should be to help their fellow man, to help them feed, help them get clothes, and help the needy. At the end of the day, it's inevitable. The government is inevitable. And I think that we have to have that means that has such a mass scale of outreach to help feed people and to help give them their needs. I think that churches, they lack a lot of central organization that government has to help reach out with them to help feed them.